Doppelgangers are devious shapeshifters that take on the appearance of other humanoids, throwing off pursuit or luring victims to their doom with misdirection and disguise. Able to shape change into any other humanoid, they make for an unsettling rival that could easily take on a friendly face, one of a companion, a family member, a lover. They use their abilities to live in self-indulgent lifestyles of scheming, stealing, lying, and even murder. A face stuck in fear must not faze you when you don't have a face of your own. Imagine a pesky mosquito, small, annoying, buzzing around your neck to steal a few drops of your precious blood until it's fat and full. Now imagine that there's 10 of them. And now make them the size of a large bat whose feet end in sharp pincers and its proboscis leaves a deep and nasty hole right into your neck, or your abdomen, or well, anywhere with soft, weak flesh exposed, draining you down to the very last drop. Its legs hold you as they drain you to a weakened state, only to be swarmed by other nearby members. Traveling in heavy armor may be a tiring task, though it may help protect you and your vital fluids from being made into these overgrown pests next meal. Carrion Crawlers are large, grub-like worms that follow the trail of death. Both above and below ground, these extra creepy crawlies will gather in recent battlefields or even burrow into cemeteries to chew on the putrid flesh and digest the bones in a soggy soup they just love. Able to dig and climb along walls, they will set up an ambush to use their poison tentacles to strike, paralyze, and overwhelm a creature. Once they have struck a creature and it falls rigid in combat, they don't kill it outright, no. These beasts drag the poor, still living creature off to a secluded area to be consumed at the leisure of the crawlers. Oh, and should you travel by torchlight at night, be warned. These monsters will follow a small light for miles in hopes for a meal, because in their philosophy, where there is light, there is food. Grimlocks are debased cultists of a forgotten age, blind hunters who live underground and have honed their sense of smell and sound. Able to blend into the cavern walls of their underground hives, the Grimlocks are gruesome, degenerate mind flayer cultists who hate the humanoids of the overworld, despite being human themselves. That's right, Grimlocks were at one point humans enslaved by the Illithids. Time below the earth have transformed them into savage and fanatical and very disgusting subhumans who still serve their alien overlords by traveling to the surface to capture more unlucky victims. With their eyes withered away, teeth jagged and sharp, and hatred of citizens of the ground above, most of the poor souls captured by the Grimlocks are instead cannibalized, and their bones forged into crude weapons for the next hunt. Imagine, if you will, you're traveling through dark and exotic lands, a place where the sun doesn't shine much, if at all, upon the ground. But during your excursion, you feel tired, your body growing stiff, your very joints ache with your every inhale. You decide to stop to rest, and the traveling just might be getting to you a little bit. But soon you can't move, your body frozen. But the pain in your body is still there. In fact, it's much worse now. It's spreading throughout you. Fast forward by a few hours and your heart has stopped beating. Blood no longer flows in your veins. Now instead, your body is a host to a growing fungus that has invaded your body through the spores it let out when you ventured just a little too close to it. Your insides turn to a spongy growth, as the very skin that covers you splits in some places, letting the new life expand and break free and flow out among the ground. Your body is broken down and decomposed until only your mossy, rust-covered gear is left as a trap for the next victim who will spread the next generation of fungus. That is but one example of what fungi can do to you. They range anywhere from shrieking stalks to lashing feelers that will all inevitably, slowly decompose your corpse. Notics retain no awareness of their former selves, sulking amid the shadows of haunting places, rich in magical knowledge, drawn by memories and impulses they themselves can't quite understand. Cursed beings that dwell among arcane libraries seeking knowledge, these poor cyclopses use a baleful eye to peer out from the darkness, its gleam hinting at a weird intelligence and unnerving malevolence. Most times, a Notic is content to watch, weighing and assessing the creatures it encounters. When driven to violence, it uses its horrific gaze to rot the flesh from its enemy's bones. Able to learn your deepest and darkest facts as it stares you down, combating this monster will require you to think fast and act faster. A construct bound in burlap and stuffed with straw, and granted life by a slain evil spirit that has found new vessels to possess and transform. Silent sentinels of bountiful fields now turning on the people who tend to them, stuck in the tall cornfields and remaining absolutely still until the passerby has their guard down. These straw-filled slashers, imbuing their claws and their gaze with abilities to frighten targets and even paralyze them, making the victim's final moments of life all the more terrifying before they are ripped to shreds. Good deeds are not always rewarded. Are you a good person? Do you go out of your way to help others? Do you push back your desires and temptations to live a life of purity and proper morals? Do you feel weaker? Do you sleep but still always feel tired at night? Are you finding the mere act of raising your hand getting too much, as if it was made entirely out of stone? Is your shadow moving when you aren't? Shadows are undead that feed off the physical strength of those with the heart of good, drawn to life like worms to rot. These shapeless undead feast on the life force of any living creature and grow their numbers from corrupting the shadows of non-evil victims. These creatures' hunger for life never ceases. They only seem weak to sunlight. They require no food, no water, no sleep, not even air. They will pursue their prey through darkness, creeping along the walls and the floors, and slipping underneath your locked doors and through the cracks in your walls. They will pour in all around you, just out of sight from the corner of your eye. You may catch a glimpse, but that's it. You can run at dawn, but come nightfall, there's nowhere to go. They are unrestrained, and the world is theirs to roam. Before we end off tonight's list, thank you for those who have enjoyed the list so far. If you don't mind, please leave a like and subscribe for future content. Also, follow me on my social media and join my Discord. Links to all that are down below. Oni are monsters of myth that have carved out a violent legacy in the hearts of villagers. So much so that they have been deemed the true form of the boogeyman that haunts your dreams at night. Being that they hunt at night and have a taste for the flesh of human babies. Lock your doors, blow out the light. The hungry Oni hunts at night. Hide and tremble, little one. The Oni wants to have fun. Hear it scratching behind your door. See its shadow across the floor. The sun won't rise for a while, so beware the Oni smile. Ogres of magic and might, these nightmare monsters are fearsome to fight in both strength and in the arcane, as they can turn any weapon they wield into a magical weapon. They are brutal and cunning, devising plans while in disguise on how they will sack a village and who they will take to eat later on. So, the next time a drifter from the frontier gives you a hungry look, run. While not the strongest of dragons, black dragons are among the most vile and cruel of the chromatic dragons. From birth, they will outright bully, torture, and finally murder creatures such as pets and small animals. As the dragon grows bigger, so does the violent tendencies and the enjoyment of causing pain and suffering to nearly all things around it. Murdering other races simply because it is bored, and these are not normally swift deaths. Black dragons love to savor their kills, playing with their captives, making them beg, as it inflicts series of painful torments on helpless victims. Things such as slowly dipping them in acid pools, crushing them underneath their feet, placing them inside their massive jaws, and slamming their bodies around until they are nothing but limp, broken messes. And many, many more vicious things that are done simply to satisfy its sadistic nature. They love to kill the weak first to create fear among others. Then they will spend time toying with the rest, wearing them down and even putting illusions of escape just in front of the victims to then kill them off violently and revel in the misery of its victims. The black dragon will make its lair from the crumbling ruins of kingdoms, and after its darkness has spread through nearby regions, evil shambling mounds will spring up around with nothing but the sole drive of snuffing out the light of any good aligned creature. You can cry, you can beg, you can bleed. Hell, that's just what they want. The black dragon wants you to do all these things so it can enjoy taking your life even more.